Hey, Mike with Mike's Bags. Today I'm reviewing the Quantum by Alien Cornhole. This is the first set of bags I've gotten from Alien. They've been recommended to me by several people for a while now. I finally got around to getting a set. I went on the website, looked. I recognize these two materials, very popular materials. I've thrown a lot of bags with these materials. I've reviewed a lot of bags with materials, so I thought it was a great bag to start with because I like the materials and how they play, so I can compare how this bag feels and plays to other bags I know. So let's go ahead and break down these Quantum. I'll tell you what I learned about them. We'll start with the slow side here. This is that hybrid material. It's the same hybrid material you find on the slow side of the Viper R, Reynolds Thunder, the AAR Rippers, the Killer Bees Armites. There's a lot of bag companies out there that are using this material. Very popular for good reason. It's a player-friendly material. It's very forgiving. It's versatile material where you can play kind of some blockers, but you can also run bags hole for hole. Gives you a lot of versatility. That's why I think a lot of bag companies are coming out and using it. I'm gonna call it a 5-speed. It plays faster, plays closer to a 6, even maybe a 6.5. As it starts to break in, it slows down. Normal boards, normal conditions, it plays a 5, and it plays pretty consistent across all board conditions. In fact, when I went out and did my video here for throwing, it was overcast. You can see there's actually, I won't say it's raining, but there's some mist coming down here off and on, so the boards had moisture on them, which is one of the reasons I decided to throw these bags that day. Typically people get shocked when I say the best bags for humidity or wet boards are actually carpet or hybrid materials, not your faster polyester materials. And that's because the polyester materials, which, non-carpet material for the most part is 100% polyester. That tends to slow down. Even this fast side here, it does slow down some. It does slow down. But the polypropylene material, which is the quote-unquote carpet material, those 100% polypropylene materials actually speed up when you get into moisture on the boards. So when you take a hybrid, this is a hybrid because it's part polyester, part polypropylene, so it has a mixture of the two in there, and so it really does balance itself out. The polyester is slowing down while the polypropylene is speeding up, and you kind of keep more of an even speed across the board. So even though in this video the bags were moving and I wasn't able to really play more of a dirty style, I went through a lot of blockers because the moisture is there. These bags were playing a little bit quicker, probably more like that 6 speed with the moisture. I wanted to show that when bags are damp and wet, that's when you want to pull out your hybrid materials, when you pull out your carpet materials, because that's when they really shine, and this material plays really well across all board conditions. So anyway, I kind of got a little sidetracked there, but just so I kind of wanted to explain that and thought that's why I chose this bag to review on that day to throw. So anyway, 5-speed on the slow side, plays pretty consistent through all board conditions. So if you're out in tournaments that last all day or through the evenings as conditions change, it's a great material to have. It'll handle all those conditions. Fast side. This fast side is that Pro Sniper, Deadhead, Viper fast side. 9-speed, crazy fast, great for pushing, collecting, going through dirty boards. It slides to the boards well in most conditions. 5 to 6 on the slow, 9 to fast. Exact same material combinations that you find on the Viper R, the Reynolds Thunder, AAR Ripper. A lot of bags use these material combinations, very popular materials. Template wise, this is it's a medium template, but it's on the larger side of medium. It's getting borderline almost a large template bag to me, and it feels like a bigger bag just in the hand. It's very close to that Viper R. If you're familiar with the Viper R and the template, very close to that, maybe just a touch smaller than there. It's a medium amount of fill, so you've got flop on this bag, although it is not a floppy, sloppy bag. It's a fuller feeling bag. I keep referring to the Viper R because I think a lot of people are familiar with that. To me, this is very similar in the template. It's same materials, very similar template size, just a little less floppy than that Viper R. So if you don't like the flop of that Viper R, this Quantum may be a great option for you. So it's got flop to it, not overly floppy. The fill in here is I think it's a mixed fill, but it's all flat fill. I don't feel any beads in here, so I think it's a mixture of different size, different weights, flat fills as far as I can tell, which give the bag a ton of forgiveness on the landing. If you don't throw the flattest of bags, you have a tilt on the other, it's not going to punish you. It has very little to no kick to it, so it lands pretty softly, runs straight, true up the board. It's also got enough flop that you get it into the hole, it's going to grab the hole and come right in, so you got the forgiveness around the hole as well. I will say, and I'm going to nitpick here just a touch, and I talk about the lot. Flat fill to me isn't the most hole friendliest of fills, so I will say there from time to time I had a bag that got left hanging that maybe wouldn't have with more beads in here or a mixture of beads mixed in with the fill. But I am nitpicking. I in no way do I feel like this bag is not hole friendly. Both materials are very hole friendly. I just felt like a couple times the bags were hanging, and as long as I had another bag, I could bring them in. It wasn't that uncollectible. So I also mentioned these are ACL stamped for 2024. They have the ACL comp stamp, as mentioned before. If you're not an ACL pro, which most of you watching, probably all of you watching are not pros, you don't need a pro stamp. Comp stamp, pro stamps make no difference to you whatsoever. So they're ACL stamped. If you play an ACL event, any ACL event, you can throw these Quantums out there. It leads me into playability in these bags. bags, and like I said, this is a very versatile bag. It's a bag that if you want to play a dirty style game, you can. It's probably not the best bag at playing a super full dirty style game because of the flat fill, because of the flop, because of the forgiveness this bag has. It's not the best at shaping shots. You can cut the bag. I didn't have, it's not making those harsh cuts. It's making small cuts, subtle cuts. Because that bag, and I talk about not having kick, well, you take the kick away, you're taking the cutability away, because it's the same thing, right? The kick is a tilt in the bag. That's what you're doing when you're cutting. You're putting a tilt in the bag to get the bags to cut. So when you get that forgiveness in the landing, you're losing a little bit of the ability to cut. So you really got to put a little steeper angle, go more aggressive with those cuts to get the bag to cut. You can get some cuts around there. Flopping it, rolling it, if you're above average roll bag, flop bag type player, you can do that. If you're not, if you're below average, probably not the best bag for that, but I don't think that's what this bag's designed for. To me, this bag's designed more for really running bags in the hole. You're going hole for hole, outscoring your opponent with the occasional blocker here or there. You want to throw a third bag blocker, maybe you want to play a dirty round, maybe you're getting behind in the game, you want to manufacture points and put some blockers away. That's where this bag shines, is more is in that versatility of, let me go hole for hole, 60, 70% of the time, and the other 30 or 40% of the time, I'm going to play a little bit of a dirty style game. That's where I think this bag shines. But you've got the versatility here that you can do whatever style of game you want to play. And if boards are a little slower, a little stickier, you can play a dirty style game with them. If boards get faster, you're running the bags in the hole. If you do throw a blocker up there, these bags are very collectible. I didn't have a problem grabbing bags when I left them short of the hole. Because they're not really sloppy, floppy bags, you don't have to get aggressive. You can kind of clip that corner. They're not going to accordion up. Take them in. If you have a bag across the board, you don't have to get really aggressive with a cut. Honestly, as long as there's enough in the middle, I can still come down the middle, clip it, and pull it back in. If you have multiple bags, fast size, plenty fast size to put multiple bags in, I don't really have an issue with these bags kind of clogging the hole. Even though they're larger and they're a medium fill, there's enough flop here. They really did fold up nicely and kind of drop in the hole. So no problems with clogging the hole. I don't really recall having an issue with them bunching that I remember at all either. They're like I said, so they're very, very collectible, pretty easy to put in multiple bags if you got to collect. So if you're throwing blockers up there, don't be afraid to put your blockers more on your opponent's side. You can get aggressive with your block, knowing that you have the ability to kind of grab that bag and pull it back in if you need to. To me, it's a wonderful bag for blind draws, because I know there are people that still refuse to throw carpet, and people look at this hybrid material and think it's carpet, and it's really not. I'm trying to get away from calling it a hybrid carpet, and I'm trying to get away from calling these carpet bags. These are hybrid materials, so it's just as much. Most of it, I think this material here in particular is a 50-50 blend, so it's just as much polyester material as it is polypropylene, so it's no more carpet than it is a non-carpet material in there. So I try to call these more hybrid materials and not hybrid carpets. But if you get people who look at this, think it's a carpet, and don't want to throw it, if you can get them to throw it, I think you'll find they'll like it. So it is a decent bag for blind draws. If you throw carpet, you're trying to find a carpet bag that you can take that people will throw. Maybe they don't like those really slower carpets. This is fast enough that I think they can get away with it. All in all, I really did like the way the bag plays. I threw it really well. I really like these materials. I'm becoming a big fan of these hybrid materials just because of what you can do with them, kind of versatility you have, and for being a controllable material, it still is very hole friendly. Like, it doesn't slow down and hang up like some other 5-speed materials do. So I really like to use this type of material or a variation of these hybrid materials when I want kind of play that mid-speed versatile style game out there. And I think you're gonna like it too. So if you've been looking at eyeing, a Viper R or one of those variations of those Viper Rs, I think the Quantum is something you should add to your list to check out. So leaves me an availability on these, and Alien has a website, aliencornhole.com. Link down in the description for you guys. The bags were $80 for a set of them, and it was $9 shipping. So $89 shipped to you, which is a great price for an ACL stamp bag. It's kind of on that mid to lower price range. I think they're well worth it. I feel like I got my money's worth out of buying these bags for $89. I'm not upset at all with them. If you've thrown the Quantum, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you like, what you don't like. If you haven't, you got questions, drop a comment down below. I'll do my best to answer any questions you have. I thank you guys so much for your support, and I thank you for watching.